Okay, all right. Nice. Nice. I set everything properly. I did change. I did made some changes with the in regards to the way I suppress noise. So if there are any background noises that you might hear, please let me know, and I'm gonna change it. So let me just do something. All right, so I hope, just a second, I'm gonna do another intro. Okay, hi. So I hope you like my new wallpaper. I also have one for the tablet. Let me just show you. It's the old Windows. Is it Windows XP? I think it's Windows XP. The old Windows XP wallpaper. Okay, so what I want to do is continue working on my projects. Build your own Lisp 14. Okay, I want to do something. I want to extract all of these files into separate module-like elements. So what can I do here? Yeah, all of the things I've ever searched here. So I have some questions about quantum physics. So ChatGPT has auto suggestions now. Amazing, but no question. I have a C script running at 100 plus lines of code long. What is the best method to extract some of the code into separate files? How does that work in C? Okay. So how can I modularize my code? Breaking it into separate files, but to make it more manageable and reusable. Here's a step-by-step guide on how to do this effectively. Identify logical components. Look for distinct sections in your code, such as functions or group of related functions that can be logically separated. For instance, if you have, okay, so this is my plan of today. I don't think it's doable. 1 hour of coding, 1 hour of deep learning, and then 1 hour of articles, like reading what's new in the area of in the area that I'm interested in. I highly doubt that I can squeeze 3 hours. What do even these streamers that do 24-hour streams, are they on like amphetamines or some shit? Because there's no way that someone can control themselves to stream for 4, 5, 6, 8 hours. Look for distinct sections in your code. Distinct sections in my code. So I think I can extract this somehow. Then I think I can extract all the structures, definitely all the constructor methods. There's a lot of them. Lambda, fun, Q expression, S expression, string, symbol, error. Yeah, all of these can be extracted. Okay. Look for distinct sections in your code, functions or groups or related functions that can be logically separated. For instance, if you have utility functions or functions that handle specific tasks, file handling, data processing, these are good candidates. Okay. No, I don't want to split it. Shift Control V. Okay, I'm trying to learn the Shift Control E. I'm trying to learn the shortcuts as well. Touch. Lval constructors.h touch lval constructors.c. Create header and source files. For each module, create a pair of files, header files, which will declare the function prototypes, types, and any macros that should be accessible to other files. Source files implement the functions declared in the header file. If you have utility functions, I should create utils.h, utils.c. So in headers, I'm declaring the prototypes. And okay. So what it's gonna be here? Nelvim lval. No, what do I have here? String C's. Okay. Nelvim lval constructors.h. So let me just check here. So this is I'm inserting shit. This is lval constructors.h. All right. So if this is not defined, just a second. So what do I have here? So if it's not defined, lval constructors.h, here I am defining them, and then I should copy all of these constructors here. This won't work. It will work. So I can do it. I can do this by hand. Nice. But without the line numbers, please. I don't want the line numbers. Without the line numbers, S expression, Q expression, function constructor, close it. Lambda, but I forgot the properties. So this is gonna be LL const. So all right, save this bad boy. With the if not defined, define and if what are these called? These are called macros, right? These macros prevent multiple inclusions. So if you try to include this file from other points, it won't be allowed. It will fail most probably. So I'm done with this. I'm quitting it. Now let's do this and let's copy all of this. Ah shit, but I have to remove the lines. So I need to enter the visual one. Sorry, I'm in visual, but from now here, visual. And I'm gonna select all of these. Not the delete. I think this is okay. So can I just yank it? I think I should be able to just yank it. And I think I can just be able to paste it. No, not possible. No, doesn't work. Doesn't work. I think there is a command. Wait. So vim, go all the way down to the delete. No, to the without the delete. So I'm here. So I want to copy it like this. Lines yanked. And now here, if I paste, why don't you work? Why? It's this, yank. Please tell me it works. Why? Let me check. Let me ask. I don't seem to be able to copy text from one Vim environment to another. How can I do this? If your Vim is compiled with clipboard support, I think it is. I think I installed clipboard support once. I run a Vim version and look for clipboard. What? Close. Okay. Close. Meh. think I have the clipboard somewhere. I don't have it. How do I enable it? If your Vim does not support system, clipboard save your text to a temporary file and read it into others. This is so if this is a workaround for this, it's the shittiest workaround ever. Hey Jose, I'm writing like a simple Lisp implementation in C as part of, I don't know, learning in C. I spent the last 7 years working as a front-end developer, so I'm trying to get back into it. I'm actually not doing this from my head. I'm following a pretty good book named Build Your Own Lisp. So in the end, I'm doing most of the stuff myself. But yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to do right now is, for you and anyone else who joined. So I have this really huge file already, 1,000 lines. I want to extract some of the logic into and modularize some of the logic into separate files. And I have a problem in which stupid Vim. Is this Vim or NeoVim? I think this is this Vim? Ah shit, have I opened it? I need to open it with NeoVim. Alright, I think now it's gonna work. Now it's gonna work. So if I go where? How do I switch between these different tabs? It's Alt and the arrows. What percent of? I think I'm of the book. I think so. It's a really short book, by the way, and I suggest you to, if you want to learn C. I don't know how popular C is nowadays. 2 days ago I had a stream and a couple of people joined and we had a discussion. Basically, one guy with I think 20 years of experience told me that Rust is more useful for anything that C was used for beforehand. But the book itself is quite short. It's like 200 pages. It's not a huge like university textbook, and I finished maybe 80%. So I finished majority of it. Now I'm trying to extract this logic into separate modules on my own. This wasn't in the book. Now Vim LWAL constructors. Let's see. Come on. I never worked in Rust. I would like to, but yeah. This is my first encounter with C after, I don't know, maybe 7-8 years since the university. And oh man, compared, I'm not trying to blasphemy here, but compared to JavaScript, oh, it's a lot of things that you need to do yourself, from memory management to reallocation, making sure you garbage collect everything. It's it's out there. I like it though. I wouldn't want to work in it, but I like it though. Come on. So Yank, please tell me that it's gonna work here. Oh my fucking god. Why? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So it's like this plus Yank Ah, it works. Yeah, that's the book. It's really good actually. I don't like hand holding, and when learning stuff I like to be thrown into the fire. So okay, I this, let me just see. And it's really good. It's really good. Okay, so this one, let me delete this and let me insert include lval constructors.h. Okay. lval constructors.h. So now, after spending 20 minutes on this, on trying to modularize 70 lines of code, let me 76 dd. I deleted too much. It's not 76. How many are they? 74. 74 starting from here. 74, delete this one. And now here, include lval constructors.h. No. No. Might get into it when I feel. What is the Pro Git book? Ah, it's a book on Git, is it? Pro Git book. Ah, like it's so incredible how comprehensive a tool like Git is. I mean I know the basics. I know how to switch, but oh fuck, this is it burns my eyes. Like I know how to switch branches. I know how to rebase, but there's so much stuff there. What do they have here? Basics. So I think I know only this stuff. Okay, branching. Git on the server. Generating your SSH. GitHub. Git tools. Oh, sounds interesting. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I read a fantastic. Let me try to find it if I can. I think it's here somewhere. I read. No. Where are you, bruh? No, these are the YouTube channels that I want to subscribe to. To be born in a bag. Let me try to find this. It's why Git 1, I think. Why Git 1 Hacker News. Why GitHub? No, it's not GitHub. I think it's Git. No. Ah, yeah, it's this one. It's this one. So if you have some time, read this. It's really interesting. I think is this article? How GitHub replace source? Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Like back in the time, people had a multitude of different version control systems, and in the end, GitHub blew them all away. kind of like Trump. No idea. I'm not from America, so I have no idea how it goes there. So what I wanted to, yeah. What are your names? String. You must fucking kidding me. Oh my fucking god, what's this? Unknown type name elbow. Oh. Okay, I'm just digging a hole here for myself, but let's try. Touch elbow types.h, touch elbow types.c. Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, I'm not trying to be like a YouTuber or some shit. I'm just the fact is, when I turn this shit on and when I stream, I'm motivated to do the streaming instead of playing games or jerking off. So thank you very much. Have a good day yourself. Okay, so LOL types. I don't think I need. I think I only need. All right, I think I only need these guys here. So I don't even need .c file. The C. Run. I don't even know what I'm saying. Sorry. C. Okay. If not defined, LOL types H, define LOL types H. Why don't I? Why am I not having the syntax? Idiot. LOL types.h. And if I hate this keyboard. It's a small mechanical keyboard, and I have to switch. I have a control switching key, and every time I miss it, and it basically switches between this backslash and the arrow up. So sometimes I want to go up, but I click the backslash, or I want to go up, but I type in the, or vice versa. I have no idea what I was saying. So LOL types.h, and now here I should copy all of these guys. All of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here. Okay, this was easier than it looked. So just here, let me include LOL types.h, and let me remove how many of these guys, how many of these lines of code, all of this, right? right? I should also copy this as well. Yank this son of a bitch. And then paste it here. Oh my fucking god, what am I doing here? Can I just select it like this? I think I can. Will this work? Copy, and now here, okay, it works. The good old grab 'em works amazingly. Save, move back, remove, save this guy as well, close this dude. Okay. Not very confident that this is gonna work. Yeah, first things first. I think this doesn't work because what's happening here? Because yeah, this one needs to be here. This is the first thing because I have the type. In Lvel types I have the different structures that the rest of my files are using, so I think they need to be first in the hierarchy. Now, yeah, it reduced this in size. In function lvel print implicit declaration of function lvel print string. Did you mean lvel print at top level? Lvel print, lvel read, unused variable string. Wow, so there's there's a lot of issues here. A lot of them. Wait. So I have created a new string type. So let me just move you from here, and I'm gonna paste you here. Okay, seems nice. And I'm gonna put you here as well. Bum. Before this, it's gonna be string. Save. I should also collect you and throw you away once I'm done with you, my friend. Lucky number 7. String. Let me just get some water, sorry. I hope I at least reduced the number of errors here. I think I did. Lvel, wait, let me search for this. Lvel print string. I know what happened here. I know where you did wrong, my friend. So how many lines do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, delete, delete. Paste it here. Let me just make some room. Ah, no, don't double it, make some room. And now we reduced the amount of errors by another couple of them. What's next? Strings dot 139. What do I have here? 139. Ah, a good old-fashioned semicolon mistake. No. So I have some errors here at 580. Where are you? 580. L will read string, and this is at 669. Ah, okay. I think the first issue here is this. There's no method called string, only str. In C, I think I need to do this str length. So I have the first of all, let me I have no idea what any of this does. Oops. No idea what any of these does. Okay, I have 4 errors, all of them related to the method that I'm writing here. So I want to read a string, if I remember correctly. I want to read a string that is, let me just try to visualize this. Yeah, let me increase this by a bit. By the way, what do you think about my wallpaper? So let me just scroll this down. No, not down. Yeah. So what is going on here? Let's write JavaScript. So I have var x is 5. Var epsilon is 10, and then I have z is x plus epsilon, and then I have console log z. So I'm using JavaScript. Sorry, I just want to drill this better in my head. But just a second. Sorry. So I have this, and I want to provide this to my parser in the string format. So what is happening here? Okay, I set the last character to the null delimiter character. Otherwise, this all goes kaput. Next. So next we should strip. Yeah, because we are providing this in a string format, like here. I want to strip these two guys away, so I only get the content of whatever we wrote. So we can then take it to the parser and sorry, not to the parser, to the compiler. We already parsed this to the compiler. All right, let's do this. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me not call it string. Maybe it's built in. Maybe it's baked into something and during the compiling my whole computer burns to the ground. So let's just call it string here. And if I move to the right window, if I try compiling, I think it's gonna work. It didn't work. 580 lvol read string, lvol read string. 669. So this is the dude. I'm gonna yank this whole line and go to the top, maybe to the 50th. Yeah, and I'm gonna forward declare it here. I'm gonna forward declare it here and save it. Let's try to compile this again. All right. So a havarity happened. A huge havarity happened. Six, 7, 4. I think I used the wrong name of the method here. So mpcf unescape. So if I clear now, why the fuck are you failing? Undefined reference to lvol r. So is this, oh god. So if anyone is watching this, yeah, I pooped in my hands and then I smeared it all over my face. Basically what happened is I wanted to reduce the number of lines of code that I'm having here. I had 1,000. Now I have 900. Which is fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. And I think I messed somehow the imports. In function built in OP. So how do I think I need somehow to provide my other headers to the list, to the command that compiles the file. But how do I do this? Yeah, I need to compile all the files together. Yeah, I knew this. Wait. String C, MPC C. I need another file. What? How are you called, my friend? Split horizontally. Control Shift O. Control Shift O. How are you called, brother? LVOL constructors. LVOL constructors C. Ah. I just reduced the error number. Oh God, what's this? Oh, I didn't reduce anything. Let me try to do this again. Clear, build. LVOL constructors H, unknown type name LVOL. I think this is gonna be the only thing I need. Hopefully. I need to include DLL types. No. Implicit declaration of the function malloc. How do you mean implicit declaration of the function malloc? What does this even mean? In function LVOL num, implicit declaration of the function malloc. Why do I get this error? The warning implicit declaration of the function malloc means that the compiler did not find the declaration of malloc which should be provided by the standard lib.h. But I don't think I defined it in the I haven't defined it standard lib.h header. Memory allocation failed. Why don't I Control Shift O? Wait, maybe the standard lib is imported in MPC. Let me see. MPC.h include, yeah, it's here. So everything is here. Oh no. Oh no! Oh fuck. Shift E. Let's move here. Chapter 14. Neovim. What file? Ah, strings. Oh, now if I get this error that says, oh, your file was already open, but you left it half done. No, I didn't do it. Okay. And here. What I want here, yeah. mpc.h. I need to do the following. Neovim lval constructors.h. Include mpc.h. Save it, close it. String. Build it. Only 2 errors now. Nice. Sorry. Let me just grab some sugar. I'll be back in a second. Not even a second. A moment. I'm gonna transport myself. Yeah, just a second. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. I had a bounty. People usually don't love coconut, but for some reason I really do. So, only 2 errors now. Let me just check if I muted myself properly, because unmuted. Yeah, seems okay. I just opened my stream on another device. So, what do I have here? Function lval lambda inside lval constructions implicit declaration of function lval new. Ah, no, not lval. Environment new. So both of these are on the same page. So what I could do here is extract all the, how many of those I have? How many of those? Length. I have the delete. I have the copy. I have the get. Okay, the new one doesn't reference any external logic or internal. It only has the malloc. I'm fixing the malloc by importing the standard library, so this will be okay. So now this one, and now this one is fucking with me, because this one has the symbol, lval symbol and lval function here, and lval delete. Next, all of these, without built-ins. Oh fuck. What about ln new? No, sorry. Length new. Where is this method? It's here. Ah, it's only this. Okay, I think this one should be fairly simple. So let's move it here. Let's create length. How would I call this? Length .h touch length.c. length.h. If not defined, length.h, define length.h. It's only gonna be this method. So new is gonna be void. Is it 10 diff now? Yeah. And diff length.h. Save it, but I also need to import. Move me to the first line. I need to import npc.h, I think. Yeah, I think this is the one. Close it. Close it. Now here. I'm just copying this guy. Copy, paste, implicit declaration. So I didn't paste well enough. Ah! No! Oh! How do I redo it? Oh, fuck me. How do I redo? How to redo in Vim? Sometimes I make one mistake. I mistype, or as I said, I have this mechanical keyword and not all of the keys can fit. So some of them are using two different functions. So I have a function keyword that switches between them, and it fucking switches on my arrow keys. So sometimes my up arrow key is also my backslash. Command R. Is this working? Yeah, it works. Yeah, like this. So I need to switch. I need to buy a new keyword. Okay. Keyboard. Visual copy. So now paste. No, why? What if I do change? No, it doesn't work. Oh, fuck me. I hate this. Found a swap file by the name of this, owned by me. Modified, yes. Username, me, yeah, of course. I have a process ID still running. While opening another program, I'd be editing, so recover. Nice. So switch back, let me see. Enter visual mode. Let's select all of these. Do this, plus, and jank. With this command, I'm actually janking outside the NeoVim keyboard. Now go back. Paste. Doesn't work. Of course I'm gonna kill myself. Paste like this. Doesn't work again. Why? What about if I do insert? No. If I do insert and do like paste like this, no, it doesn't work. The worst thing about coding is it's not learning the concepts, it's fucking with the tools that you need to fuck with. I'm sorry for swearing. I usually don't do this. I actually do. Plus jank. Lines jank. Okay, please paste. Wait. So if I paste it here, how to copy outside of them. course it has to copy the current line, to copy the current line. If Vim lacks, oh god, have I opened this? No, it's NeoVim. It should work. NeoVim should work. I think, does NeoVim come with clipboard enabled by default? I think it does. Okay, wait. NeoVim version grep clipboard. I think it works. It should work, right? Why doesn't it show me all of these infos? System Vim RC file, fallback for Vim. No. So why? I don't have clipboard enabled. But how did I managed to copy this? Am I going crazy or something? So just janking it, this doesn't work. I don't think this will work. So if I paste it now, yeah, it didn't save it anywhere. So using there's this command. Wait, this command, the double quotes, a plus, and then yank should work. It usually works, right? Let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This plus yank. It says 12 lines yanked, but now if I go up, if I try to paste, no. It should work. It should work. Length new. It should work. It definitely should work. It should fucking work, please. Why? Okay, it's here. Why am I doing this? Why am I such an idiot? It's here. It's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the command again, the double quotes, the plus, and the yank. 9 lines yanked into plus. And now if I Control Shift and V, it works. No idea why it didn't work that time. No clue. No clue. No clue. But now V and save it. Actually, the window below I don't need, so it's Control Shift and W, right? Yes, Control Shift and W. Let me just list all of my files. Let me just remove this here. So visual, all of these. Bye to you. There's also forward declaration I did of this. It's here somewhere. I'm gonna remove this one too. That one as well. Where are you? It's length new. No, this is the use. This is the forward declaration. And then at the top, after the types, before the constructors, include, maybe even before the types, include length.h. Save. Clear. Now this is the command, but I'm gonna add another file to compile itself, and it's gonna be length.h. Oh my fuck, what? Why? Unknown type name length. So it should be after the types. It should be after the type. I don't even. Now this is. Now this is an architectural question to ask yourself. This is an architectural question to ask yourself. Where do things need to be? So in my elbow types.h, I think I also defined the length. Yeah, I did. It's here. So I could just switch these guys, save, move here, clear this, and I think I'm 92% sure it's gonna work. The imports did work, but this didn't. Why? Implicit declaration function length new. Why? Line 69 inside the elval constructors. So what I should do is also go to elval constructors.h, include length.h, save, close, and now with 94% accuracy, I think it's gonna work. Unknown type name length. In length. Oh shit! I didn't think about this properly. Everything was in one line, and all of those guys were happy together, and they went on their way. They're separated, but each of them has a piece of another one. So I'm gonna create like a circular issue if I do the following. I think I'm gonna do length.h, and here I'm gonna import include elval types.h. No, vq undefined reference to length new. Why? Function main strings.c 868 undefined reference to length new. Line 1 length.h. It should work here. Include. Ha ha ha. Look at this. Look at this. This little maneuver could have costed us 50 years, but I got it. Now add it anyway. .h save .h save close. Why? Why? 868 undefined reference to lend new. Wow, no, actually. Let me just see how the constructors were defined. Lend h. So if I length h, I can remove this, right? Yeah, I can remove this. Length new, and I can close it. And now length.c, edit anyway. Length h, length new. This should work. It won't work again. Unknown type name length. Length. I think I should move this type, but let me see. Let me just make sure I'm gonna build this proper. No. I think what's happening here is it's a cyclic dependency of some sort. It's definitely a cyclic dependency. It's definitely a cyclic dependency. It's definitely a cyclic dependency, but how do I fix it? 868 undefined reference. 868. Let me just. Is this caused by bad imports? During linking, when the compiler can't find the definition of a function that's declared but not lend new, this is likely caused by one of the following issues: missing file, the compilation command. Wait, could this be the issue? Lend.h, lend.c. Okay, woo! Nice. I didn't do anything new basically, I just did a bit of moving things around here. Have I reduced the line? Oh no, go back, go where you came from. So what do I have? I have 892 lines here. So I managed to shear off plus minus 100 lines. I want to make this file as lean as possible, so most probably I'll keep only maybe the main here. Everything else, all of these files, they need to go. They need to go, definitely. but I don't think I'm taking a complete effort to finish this. I think I'm gonna do this together with some other work, so I don't overindulge. In refactoring. Okay, that's fine by me. I'm gonna save this guy. Close this. Hacker News. And lobsters. Lobster. This is also a great site. I can't log in. Yeah. I need an invitation. The chat room does not require an invitation. All right. A mental model for Linux files, hard and soft links. Building bridges to C++. Tone of life. What is so? How we built a self-healing system to survive a terrifying concurrency bug at Netflix. Okay, I'm really interested in this. Our CPUs were dying. The bug was temporarily unfixable, and we had no viable path forward. Here's how we managed to survive. Substack. So wait, what's Substack? Engineer formerly employed by Netflix and Twitter, among others. Topics cover real-world system design, AI, ML platforms, and infrastructure, and deciphering what's going on in production. All right. Our CPUs were dying. The bug was temporarily unfixable, and we had no viable path forward. Here's how we managed to survive. Total instances, bad instances, good instances. I'm really interested in the more advanced topic of engineering. So learning about concurrency is a topic all in itself, and I'm really interested in this. So let's see what Matthew has to say. To cover more from push to product. Not now. Sorry, Matthew. Check out the other posts. I'm discussing one of my favorite production incidents from my time at Netflix. Here's an overview. A concurrency bug was killing our CPUs. It was Friday afternoon. Oh, the worst time. Rolling back was cumbersome. We couldn't achieve a true fix until Monday. How could we possibly prevail? Here is a link to the part of my concurrency war stories where I discuss it. Okay. During my time at Netflix, there was an effort to redesign the Netflix API from a REST-ish thing to an RPC-ish thing. The idea was that client teams would write their own endpoints. RPC, what's RPC? What's RPC? In the context above, what does RPC mean? RPC stands for Remote Procedure Call. An RPC style API is designed to let a client execute a function or procedure directly on a remote server, rather than relying on the HTTP verbs and resource-oriented structure typical of REST APIs. So it's a remote procedure call. which I never had experience with this, but I would assume that it behaves similarly to Swagger. Wait. Is RPC similar to Swagger, at least in terms of accessibility? Are different purposes and are not directly comparable to both aim to improve API usability. Yeah, I know this is an architectural style, but is the logic behind this similar? In RESTful APIs, interactions resolve around resources, requests to specific URLs to manipulate data, and an RPC API more closely resembles traditional function calls where specific procedures or methods are called often with parameters and the backend executes it directly. All right. For Netflix, an RPC style approach would allow finer content. I don't care about this. I just wanted to know what RPC is. So basically it's calling functions in the real environment. All right. Client teams would write their own endpoint scripts to deploy on the server in order to enable more flexible and efficient interactions. By client teams, I mean the teams building the Netflix app that run on mobile devices, game systems, TVs, and so on. Yeah, basically, I use Netflix most on my PS5. I never use Netflix on my laptop. I never use Netflix on, to be honest, on any other device. For some reason, a PS or any other game console is perfectly suited as a I mean, they are building it as a multimedia device. So yeah. REST thing to an RPC thing. Client teams, the teams building the Netflix app, they run on mobile. Okay. Server request latency, network latency. 9 network calls collapsed into one. One network latency, cost paid only once. Oh, wait, what's one? One network call latency paid into once. Is it like this? Paid only once. Cost latency, cost paid only once. Paid only once. What does this mean? What is one? Wide area network is a network that spans a large geographical area, often connecting devices across cities, states, or even countries. The internet itself is an example of one. Alrighty. In the phrase one network calls latency cost paid only once, it means that a remote network call across a WAN involves a certain amount of latency, but this delay is minimized by reducing the number of network calls made. There's a remote. Okay, so what, they divided a huge API endpoint into multiple little guys, right? RPC or batch processing API design a single network call, could request multiple pieces of information or perform multiple actions in one go. This reduces the need for multiple back and forth across the SWAN, paying the okay, I understand what's going on here. I had zero involvement in this project other than attending a few architecture meetings and nodding my head during hallway conversations. So yeah, it's always oh, not my fault. It was a Friday afternoon and I heard a lot of commotion. I emerged from my cubicle to see my colleagues passionately discussing a problem. Our CPU usage was slowly growing across our cluster. After looking at a bunch of graphs and some, you guessed it, JVM thread dumps, we discovered that CPU usage was growing. Our CPU usage was growing due to a concurrency bug in an internal library used by the client scripts that run in our cluster. Concurrency bug, okay. Somewhere under the hood, they were using a hash map instead of a concurrent hash map, and to my memory, some calls to concurrent hash map get. Wait. What is the difference between a hash map and a concurrent hash map? Just a second. Alright, let's keep this up. So what's the difference between a hash map and a concurrent hash map? The difference between a hash map and a concurrent hash map in Java lies in how they handle concurrent. So is networks written in Java? I think it is, right? Networks employs a diverse set of programming languages to build and maintain its platform. Yeah, but is the backend written in Java? Yeah, backend services. Can I turn off ChatGPT's? Well, actually, because it just makes me mad. All right. Netflix employs a diverse set of programming languages. Yeah, it goes well. Thank you. To build and maintain its platforms, selecting each language based on specific use cases and requirements. So Java, yeah, Java is used in backend. And JavaScript, yeah. Kotlin for mobile, yeah, for mobile development, yes. So what's happening here? Hash map and concurrent hash map. So hash map is not thread safe, it's not synchronized. It does not handle concurrent access by multiple threads. If multiple threads modify a hash map, concurrently data corruption or unpredictable behavior can occur. A single-threaded application, hash map is very fast, potential issues in multi-thread, okay. So concurrent hash map uses a mechanism called segmented locking. Instead of locking the entire map, it locks segment or portions of the map. Okay, so we have a map, a hash map, and you can probably just disable sections of it while you're editing, so no other threads can access it. Oh no. Infinitely running code means that the CPU running that code is completely consumed until you kill the process. I mean, why is this a problem? You can just turn it off and turn it on again. Gradually, one by one, we will using all of our CPUs. All right. We will using one CPU every 2 minutes, 30 CPUs per hour. With 8 CPUs per instance, we were using around 4 instances of capacity per hour. Every 24 hours, we were using 96 instances of capacity. After 24 hours, we would lose 10% of peak capacity and 20% of. All right. Could the responsible client team fix the bug? Yes, but they need some time and wouldn't be ready until Monday. Okay. Could we roll back? Not easily. I can't recall why. Yeah, plot hole. What else? Could we somehow detect the problem and reboot the relevant service? Not easily. Okay, so what happened? Some companies have a culture that enables engineers to minimize the unpleasantness of situation like this, while others have a culture that amplify the unpleasant. Yeah. Worked on both of these guys, on both of these companies. Examples of suboptimal approaches I've seen in similar situations. Manager 1 pressures Manager 2 to force their team to work through the weekend until the big bug is fixed. Been there, done that. Our on-call engineer manually reboots servers all weekend long. I mean, if he's paid, if it's double the hourly rate, I would definitely be glad to sacrifice myself to this valiant effort. What else do we have? If it's too much work for the on-calls, draft a small task force to perform the manual work until the problem is resolved. I say this about Netflix. During my time there, I always found it to be an extremely practical place. To give it an example, the API redesign I mentioned at the start of the post was a bit of a crazy idea at the time. Moving away from REST in the year 2011. Wow, I thought they did this in, you know, at start of 2020s, not in 2011. Wow. The worst self-healing system ever created. An ideal second best solution would be to automate cluster maintenance so that we could all enjoy our weekend with no manual interventions. The dream of every engineer who has ever been paged in the middle of the night. A self-healing system. This is how we did it. We pinned our cluster size to the max of our auto-scaling group. Now this is what I don't understand. Okay. can you explain this to me in simple terms? We pinned our cluster size to the max of our auto-scaling group. So what, they set up a limit of clusters and then they just kill them off one by one, right? Fix cluster to stop the automatic resizing of their cluster settings to always have the maximum number of servers that might meet. This way they ensure that the cluster is always at full capacity without changing based on demand. They set up a rule to intentionally kill a few servers every 15 minutes. The purpose here is to keep the system resilient by testing that new healthy servers can replace old ones without issues. So this wasn't the context in which was ChatGPT. You need to do better, man. I modeled the situation with bad instances like servers. As we scale down our cluster, we scale down both good and bad instances proportionately. So the bigger problem was at peak. When we had the max number of bad instances, they have been growing since the previous throw. This time period starts at the throw where you can see that our capacity is close to 100% as opposed to peak where it drops around 90%. Here's the graph of capacity of the same period. So capacity converges around 80%, which isn't ideal, but you could pin your cluster to a higher than normal max to achieve your desired healthy instance count. This is really interesting. This is really interesting. So this is the game of life. Ooh. Note to myself. Try implementing the game of life. All right. What other concurrency stories there are? Metrics are the map, not the territory. When things are slow, look for queues. When your system is slower than desired, queues are often heavily involved. Here is an overview of the most common situation. Is this AI generated? It also has a prompt, right? A scene of robots waiting in line, rendered in the style of a classic Sega Genesis video game. All the robots are identical or very similar, appearing as pixelated characters with a uniform design. They have a simple blocky appearance with glowing eyes and metallic textures, reminiscent of old school video game aesthetics. The setting is a pixel art futuristic environment with a low resolutions. Okay. Let me try this. Where's the new one? Here. I want to create a medieval scene. Rendered in styles of classic PS1 games. In it, the protagonist in armor with a huge sword over his shoulder is standing on the edge of a cliff overseeing a castle hidden between hills. The scene captures the nostalgic feeling of a PS1 game with blocky textures and small draw distances. Let's see what we'll get here. I mean, it doesn't look like a PS1 game, does it? How does a PS1 game look like? Ooh, how did PS1 graphics work? I'm interested in this. Nah. No, let alone. Can you generate me a PS1 game lookalike? A low poly classic PS1 style protagonist wearing armor with exaggerated properties. Yeah! Wide shot of a landscape. I mean, this one looks similar. Wait, I think he might have more data on. Can you generate a PS1 screen shot from a game akin to Silent Hill? No, 2. Yeah, that's it. Classic horror game, yeah. Show me what you have here, boy. No, it looks like the remake. It doesn't look like the original Silent Hill. What can you do? Let's do this. Hello friends, today I'm discussing one of my favorite topics, queues. They are everywhere, and if your system is slow, they are probably involved. Okay. Another note, my perspective here is based on blocking I/O. Is it input-output? For non-blocking I/O, my understanding is that queuing still slows you down, but nothing blocks. Instead, your callback just waits to execute 2 different roads to the same destinations. I have a service which makes an HTTP request to service 2. Service 1 is making an HTTP request to service 2 on a hypothetical node, nodes 1 or 2. Service does stuff, waits for a connection, sends this. Alright, the blue boxes represent activities and the pink cylinders represent queues, or more precisely resources for which access is gated by a queue. Every time a blue box points to a pink cylinder is an opportunity for service 1 to slow down tremendously. One of the most memorable archetypes you meet in the software industry is the person who, immediately after noticing that the system has become slow, starts adding indexes. Indexes? Is it indexes or indices? Both indexes and indices are correct plural forms of index, but their usage depends on the context Okay, okay. I thought it was syntheses. So, well, occasionally your situation could actually be improved by adding indexes to your database, but much more often your problem is queues. So what's the type here? So we have a thread pool. The size is often set in a config file. If an incoming request is ready for processing all but the threads are in use, you'll block until one is available. HTTP connection pools, TCP queues. Okay. How did PS1 graphics work? The game looked like it rendered cars and the world separately. I was trying to work it. Wait. Sorry. Sorry, just a second. Alright, let me just reload. I think I logged in with my Reddit account now, yeah. So I can save and archive posts. I was trying to work. The PS1 did not have a Z buffer, so it relied on the game software to hide things the player wasn't supposed to see. PS1 had no idea which drawn part of the screen was behind another part of the screen. Devs had to use some tricks to tell the PS1 when it needed to draw stuff over other stuff. It wasn't perfect. It's one of the reasons that N64 ran worse with most games, because it did actually calculate that. So more and more I'm hearing about PS1 and the way it's architectured. It seemed like a pain in the ass to develop for it. The N64 did not run worse on comparable games, so many PS1 games with actual Open 3D had frame rates just as poor. For example, Twisted Metal or Driver. Oh, I remember playing Twisted Metal. I was renting PS1 from the local PS1 renter place, and they had those consoles that you had to turn to the sides to make sure that they're gonna work, or you need to puff on the CDs, and the CDs were all scratched. Below PS5 wasn't uncommon back then with both systems. We tolerated a lot of games below 30 frames. Many PS1 games maintained a stable 30 frames per frame rate. SS was also capable of stable frame rates with games like VF2 running a high resolution. Most of the N64 library barely reached 25. Most are really unstable with culprits like Conkers and Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah? To go from 5 to 20. There's no way a game was running in 5 frames on N60. What? Alright, but how did it work? The first PlayStation with, oh, this one has polygons, dude, polygons. Dude!
How many of you remember the first time you saw a PlayStation 1 game? If you were a part of the era when the console was released, your jaw probably hit the floor when you first saw Ridge Racer or Tekken 2. These were very faithful arcade ports that Sony brought to the living rooms and bedrooms of gamers all around the world. If you experienced the system later on, or indeed in recent times with the PlayStation Classic, you may be left wondering what was all the fuss about. The PlayStation hardware was built from the ground up as a dedicated games machine, and crucial to the architecture would be its 3D capabilities. And those capabilities were extremely fast, with the system capable of pushing many thousands of polygons around the screen any given second.
Okay.
If you compare the PlayStation with the 3D of its...
I mean, PlayStation didn't look bad. I mean, in its time it looked amazing, but even now when you compare it to when it was, I think it came in 1994, right? How old is PlayStation? When did PS1 come? Is it 1994? Yeah. Fuck, man.
Biggest rival, the Nintendo 64, the graphics can look quite primitive. Even worse is the shimmering, wobbling, and popping in and out of textures as the camera is moved around. This is notable in something like Metal Gear Solid. These effects, or side effects I should say, is a part of what gave the PlayStation 1 its charm. But what actually is going on here, and why does the Nintendo 64 exhibit no such issues, yet the PlayStation 1 seems to have this problem on every single game?
The PlayStation 1 does excellent 3D, and it was an absolute powerhouse when it came out, pushing many polygons per second extremely fast. But the PlayStation 1 has a unique and interesting look about it that is very easy to pick out in a crowd, that you could just say, that looks like a PlayStation 1 game to me, and you'd probably be right.
To explain this, we need to take a closer look at the architecture of the PlayStation 1. At the heart of the system is the MIPS R3000A CPU. It's a 32-bit processor running at 33 MHz. As with almost every CPU out there, it has an ALU or arithmetic logic unit. What's missing, however, is an FPU or floating point unit. This is important, and we'll come back to this later on. The PS1 has two co-processors, COP0 and COP2. COP2 is for the GPU, and that's the one that we are interested in.
Okay, so it has two processors.
The GPU is responsible, of course, for the graphical output. The PS1 has a 1 MB frame buffer at a maximum of 1024 by 512 pixels. There's also a 2 KB texture cache for speed. Also interesting is that the GPU's frame buffer is not directly accessible from the CPU at all. In other words, you can't directly draw into it. Rather, commands are sent to the CPU to place objects into the frame buffer. This is done with what's known as ordering tables. These tables tell the GPU how and where to draw each primitive, and they are then sent to the GPU in the order that you wish to draw the 3D scene. The GPU can draw triangles, rectangles, lines, points, and sprites. Textures can also be applied to polygons and sprites. There's also different color modes. And this is all pretty standard stuff for a 90s 3D GPU. But what's interesting about the PS1 is that there is another custom chip that is the heart of all 3D calculations that is known as the GTE, or Geometry Transformation Engine. This engine is used for fast vector mathematics to handle rotation, translation, perspective, and more. Of course, a CPU can handle this for you, but even with the most optimized code, this is the main job of the GTE, and will perform these operations much faster. In fact, the GTE can manage on average 360,000 flat shaded polygons per second. The PlayStation 1 has three main limitations when it comes to graphics: no MIP mapping, no Z buffer, and no floating point numbers. Let's take a look at each of these. MIP mapping is a technique where a single texture is scaled and filtered at different resolutions. These are pre-calculated sequences that
So that's why it looks so wobbly, right?
help eliminate alias effects and also increase performance, because these MIP maps are generally cached. The downside of MIP mapping is textures at low resolutions appear blurrier. The Nintendo 64 has MIP mapping enabled, for example, in these scenes in perfect dark, but sometimes the Nintendo 64 gets criticized for appearing too blurry, and this is one of the reasons why. On the flip side, on a standard CRT, even with a composite signal, the PlayStation 1 could look very good with a very crisp and nice looking signal. The downside, of course, is that on a modern HD TV, a PS1 3D game does not look very good. It looks very pixelated, and upscaling and other things don't always help. But lack of mip mapping isn't the reason why textures warp around. There are still some things to cover. A Z or Z buffer is an important part of any 3D graphics hardware, and it was left out of the PlayStation 1. To best explain a Z buffer, think of a painting or a drawing. An artist is attempting to recreate a 3D scene on a 2D plane, like a canvas or a piece of paper. Typically the sky, horizon, and background objects in the distance are drawn first, followed by closer objects, and then followed by the closest ones. That way, the illusion of perspective is maintained. But in order to make things look realistic, the hidden surfaces must not be filled in. In a 3D world, we have X and Y coordinates to determine placement, but the Z or Z coordinate is used for depth, or in other words, how far from the camera the object is being placed. The Z buffer manages the depth of every single object in the scene and essentially solves this hidden surface problem for you. On the PlayStation, the GPU lacks a Z buffer, so no depth or Z information is ever passed to the GPU, and there is no way in hardware to do proper hidden surface removal. As an example of lack of Z buffer, let's consider the original tech demo, the T-Rex, that stunned developers with the power of the PlayStation. If we take a closer look at the animation of the T-Rex, everything is rendering correctly with the triangles furthest away from the camera, hidden by the body of the T-Rex that's closer to the camera. So, we just said that the PlayStation has no Z buffer in hardware, so how is...
So wait, PlayStation had like a T-Rex demo? The truth about PS1 graphic. I'm really interested in this. PS1 T-Rex demo. Wow. No, I don't care, sorry. Man, for 30 years this looks fire. This looks fire, and it's shadowy, and it, wow, it can open its mouth. Okay, looks really nice.
Is this possible? Well, it doesn't mean that one can't be built in software, and that's one of the complexities for the developer. Essentially, triangles need to be sent to the PlayStation GPU in order of depth, with the ones furthest away being sent first all the way to the nearest ones. The hardware will still render it for you and hide polygons that are furthest away. So what exactly is the problem here? And why can't the developer just sort the triangles in correct order and pass them to the GPU? Well, that's exactly what most developers did when they developed games for the PlayStation. The problem here is that textures need to be applied to each polygon, which rely on accurate depth values. Because no depth values are sent to the GPU, textures are applied with what's known as affine texture mapping. The edges of the polygons are correct, but the textured scan lines drawn between the edges to fill them don't calculate perspective. Each texture element or texel are the same size, and the result is this. A way to improve this was to break the polygon up into smaller triangles, but this may mean lots of processing is done on non-essential parts of the scene, like room models, floors, and ceilings. With less triangles generally in floor textures like racing games, they may generally be larger in size, and that's why you see more warping in the floor on many games. The Nintendo 64 has proper perspective calculation and a Z buffer. It also has mip mapping, and as you can see with the comparison with Mega Man 64 and Mega Man Legends on the PS1, the wall textures on the PS1 show signs of warping due to the affine texture mapping. On the Nintendo 64, the perspective calculation is accurate. There's also other issues due to the lack of Z buffer. If we consider these three rectangles and trying to render them buffer, which rectangle is closest to the camera and which ones are hidden. Once again, a solution may be to break these rectangles into much smaller triangles and hide them, but this comes at a cost. It also is not entirely accurate. Back to the T-Rex demo, as we see the dinosaur walking, you can see the textures popping in and out at the hind legs. This is because of the lack of Z buffer. It's left up to the programmer to determine which triangle gets displayed and which one does not. There's also the phenomenon where polygons would jitter around for no apparent reason. This is another side effect of the PlayStation 1 hardware. Remember we mentioned earlier that the PlayStation does not support floating point values. This is the root cause. The PlayStation uses fixed point integers. Essentially this means that the vector calculations that are needed to rotate, translate, and calculate new values was integer only. The GTE only ever outputs results as integer pixel coordinates without any fractional portion. The PlayStation cannot display any subpixel movements, and the polygons would just snap into place until one of its vertices moves enough to snap into a different pixel. This is the dreaded wobble effect that you see on many games, and is a part of the fabric that makes up the PlayStation 1. But as 3D hardware is much more powerful these days, advances in PlayStation 1 emulators means we are able to patch and fix these issues with Z buffer and subpixel movements to remove the warping and wobble of polygons. These are simple emulation options that can be applied, and in many ways, this makes the games much different than how they used to be. It's fair to say that these issues would have driven programmers mad. Having to develop sorting algorithms, determine the number of triangles to use, how to reduce warping and wobble, it wouldn't have been fun. But these days, people seem to embrace the PlayStation 1 graphical style, calling it retro, and it's something that you can download and use shaders that accurately will reproduce PlayStation 1 style effects on engines like Unity. And I personally wouldn't have it any other way. The PlayStation 1 with its quirks, the wobble, the warping, all these issues remind me of the golden age of video games in the mid to late 90s, where games were starting to mature, arcades were becoming very popular, and 3D on home consoles were just getting started.
It's really hard to know why Sony omitted these features from the graphics hardware on the Sony PlayStation. I think if I was to guess, it's probably to cut some costs on the retail price of the system. It wanted to be very competitive with the Sega Saturn and the 3DO, and obviously it completely destroyed the competition. But additional hardware features that get added to 3D chips and the architecture end up costing more money, end up costing more R&D money, and ultimately would increase the cost of the system. So I think maybe they felt like
Making a PS1 game requires some unique techniques, but it's very complicated. Advise watching this video of 3 minutes from Garbage. Alright. Is Unity available for Linux as well? Cross-platform? Supported platforms? Oh, everyone! Nice. The Unity editor is supported on all of these. Okay, I might start working in Unity. I might do this. A mental model for Linux hard files. What? Oh, I like the header here. I always felt bothered about my superficial understanding of inode, hard and soft links in Linux. Here I attempt to structure my learnings into a simplified mental model. Corrections are welcome. Alright. What makes a file in Linux? At storage level, a file is, of course, a data block. There is more to it than just that, but I won't delve deep into it. At the file system level, file is represented by an abstraction called inode. Think of inode as a data structure that stores metadata about the underlying data block of file. Inode is a data structure that stores metadata about the underlying. An inode is made accessible with a file name, which is crudely put a pair of absolute file name and a pointer to inode. What else? What else is on this block? It seems interesting. Posts. I like this. I think I'm gonna bookmark this one. Storage level. So this is how it works. File is the file name plus inode plus data block. This is the file name. This is the inode of this file, and this is the data block of it. So when you say a file, you might be referring to any or all of these components. So what's a hard link? The data block of a file data block is represented by exactly one inode at the file system level. But if we think of file names as labels slapped on inodes, then we can refer to the same inode with different labels. All right. Two file names. File name 1 and file name 2 point to the same inode, and they represent two hard links. a hard link connects a file name with an inode. How we can interpret this? A file name is represented as a pair of absolute name and a pointer to an inode. A hard link is maintained in the file name's implementation data structure. When you create a file with touch file name, you create a hard link between file name and the file's inode. All right, it makes sense. So there's a reference to the underlying structure, to the inode, and the reference is the name of the file, and the link between the name of the file and the inode of the file is a hard link. So if I do remove temporary file name 1, what should happen from a scene? Remove. Wait. If you do remove temp file name 1, what should happen from a scene perspective? What the name deletes? Is the hard link still existing? Should the entire file name plus inode? No, it shouldn't, right? The right way would be to preserve the integrity of file name 2 while deleting file name 1. That's what happens when you delete a file. The hard link between the specific file name and the inode is removed. So if you delete all the hard links, most probably, you also delete the inode, right? The inode is marked for deletion and the associated data block is orphaned. Yeah, I thought about this. So if you remove home, okay, what are soft links now? That was a hard link. What's a soft link? I have a file. I have 2 files. Both of them are having a hard link to the inode, which goes under the C level to the data block. Now I have a file name 3, which has a soft link to this guy, but it has its own inode. The link file. They have their own inode. Okay. So a soft link or a symbiotic link points a link file to a target file name. The link file which stores the connection points to a soft links a link file to a target file name. This is in contrast to a hard link which links a file. A soft link links a link file to a target file name. So a hard link, a soft link is still a file. A file name is always linked to an inode for plus data block. So the inode number is most probably the ID. Reference is the ID of the inode. And hard links would point would have the same inode number. A soft link will print different inode numbers. Okay, I'm creating a hard link, and they have the same inode. But a soft link has a different inode. A hard link is stored into a file name. Okay, how is a soft link relationship stored? In the data block of the soft link file. The content of the soft link. There are two ways to verify this. So if I could read link. Oh shit. I'm sorry guys. Wow, I streamed for 2 hours. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Thank you. Thank you all. I need to run. I need to run. I will definitely read more on this one because I'm interested in this. But I have to go. Thank you.